These are meals that I eat in a day to stay lean, they are high in protein and are super easy to make. Today's breakfast was an oatmeal recipe called muesli. It starts with 1 serving of oats, for me that's always 50 grams, followed up by 10 grams of chia seeds. Chia seeds are one of the healthiest foods that you can buy. They have fiber, are high in protein and also contain unsaturated fats. Next is 1 serving of 13 grams of powdered peanuts. This is essentially peanut butter with most of the fats removed, making it low in calories and high in protein. However, it doesn't taste as good as peanut butter, so I like to add 10 grams of regular peanut butter for the salty flavor. Next is 100 grams of unsweetened applesauce, and for the protein source I'm going to use 150 grams of quark. This is a ridiculously good protein source with 12 grams of protein and just 70 calories, and look how thick this is. It makes the oatmeal super creamy. If you can't find quark, however, you can of course use skyr non-fat Greek yogurt. They are both top tier protein sources as well. To sweeten this, add in 15 grams of honey and lastly 100 grams of milk, 1.5% fat or fat-free milk, both work fine. And that's it, just give this a mix and refrigerate it overnight to have an amazing overnight oat breakfast. The macros for this are 622 calories and 38 grams of protein. After my breakfast I get back to work until around noon, then I have lunch. This is a high protein, spicy and creamy noodle bowl that is made in about 15 minutes from start to finish. And the star of this recipe is these noodles called udon. You will find them in most Asian groceries. They are packaged in 200 gram servings with 260 calories. When you remove them from the package, they will look and feel like a gummy brick, but don't judge them too quickly, they are delicious and super easy to make. All you gotta do is heat up a pot with salted water, and as soon as the water starts to boil, add the udon brick, and after 1 minute give them a gentle shake with your tongs and you will see that they loosen up immediately. Then let them simmer for an additional 2 minutes and they are ready. This is super quick and simple. I will drain the water and let them sit in the sink for a minute. For the protein source, I'm going to slice a chicken breast that weighs around 180 grams into strips and then again into bite-sized pieces. I do this with most of my chicken recipes because it allows the meal to be ready even quicker than cooking the chicken breast whole. Next are the vegetables to add volume. I use chopped red bell peppers and onions about 90% of the time, but honestly you can use any vegetables you like in stir fries. There is really no right or wrong here. Finally, the sauce, and if you try just one thing from this video, please try this sauce. Start with a glass on a scale and add 25 grams of light mayonnaise. Some brands call it salad cream or light cream. It tastes almost as good as mayo but has less than a third of the calories. Next, add 15 grams of gochujang. This is a fire red chili paste with fermented soy that's a staple in the Korean cuisine and for me the absolute king of flavor. Finally, add 10 grams of honey and a splash of water to thin out the sauce, then stir everything until it turns into this creamy orange sauce. It's absolutely delicious. So let's get cooking. Add a teaspoon 3 grams of oil to a pan on medium heat and start with the vegetables and a pinch of salt. Saute the vegetables for about 3 minutes until the onions become translucent and start to caramelize. Once they have color, push into the side of the pan, add another 3 grams of oil and then add the chicken. Try to separate the chicken so as much of it as possible makes contact with the pan. This will add a ton of flavor. Season with salt, black pepper and a quarter teaspoon of garlic powder. The chicken only needs about 1 minute on each side because it's so thinly cut. After a minute, check the bottom side and as soon as it has color, flip the meat and let it cook for another minute until it's cooked through. Then give everything a stir to combine all the flavors and finally add the cooked udon noodles back to the pan, stir, turn off the heat and add the sauce, mixing everything together. This meal is so delicious, it will absolutely hit this spot when you need a noodle bowl, I promise. The entire meal comes in at 706 calories and 49 grams of protein. After lunch, I get back to work and around 3 PM I have a snack. But before that, let me thank the sponsor of today's video, Headspace. Headspace is an app that will help you be more mindful, less stressed and support your mental well-being. It has over 1,000 pieces of premium content in categories like meditate, sleep, move and focus. Take the move category for example, there are a ton of different options to choose from like feel-good yoga, mindful cardio or quick workouts. Here's for example a 7-minute stretching exercise that even comes with a video with someone that explains everything. Now, I started using this app for 2 different areas. First, right after work, when I'm usually the most stressed of the day, I sit on my couch and meditate with the app for 10 minutes. just to calm down after work. I used to meditate daily, but for some reason I completely neglected it, and now that I'm doing it again, I immediately feel less stressed because of the meditation. The second time I use this app is when I have trouble sleeping. The app has tons of different content pieces that help me sleep by playing relaxing sounds like rain, which I absolutely love. It completely relaxes me. So I highly recommend trying this app out. It really can help you de-stress and be more relaxed. My viewers will get a 60-day free trial by clicking the link in the description. So give Headspace a try. Thanks again, Headspace. Today's snack is my take on a famous German dessert called banana split. I start by making a delicious high-protein custard. For that, place a bowl on a scale and add 40 grams of instant vanilla pudding powder. Instant pudding doesn't need to be heated, you just combine it with cold milk, whisk, and it will thicken. You can use different flavors if you want, that's up to you. Combine it with 200 grams of milk and whisk with an electric hand mixer for about 2 minutes. After a few seconds, you will see that it slowly starts thickening, and after 2 minutes it will be like pudding. However, to make it even thicker, I'm going to add 1 scoop or 30 grams of vanilla casein protein powder and keep whisking. The casein will turn it into a thick custard that you can definitely eat as is. Depending on your protein powder, this can already taste delicious. However, I'm going to peel and slice a banana in half, add 100 grams of skyr or non-fat Greek yogurt, and top it with about a third of the custard. The contrast of flavor is so good, especially with the banana. The leftover custard can be stored in the fridge for a couple of days. I will also add a few blueberries that I had in the fridge, and there you have it, a healthy banana split that comes in at 315 calories and 21 grams of protein. After my snack, I finish work, and then I usually go for a walk and then for a gym session. After that, I have dinner at around 7 p.m. and today I had 2 quesadillas. The tortillas I use are protein tortillas that I buy from my local grocery store. They are about the same price as regular tortillas, but have 7.5 grams of protein and 125 calories, which is really good for a tortilla. I'm going to use 2 of these, they weigh 40 grams each. The protein source for this recipe is deli meat. You can use chicken, pork or beef, it doesn't really matter. They all have great macros with around 20 grams of protein and 120 calories. I use 120 grams in total for this recipe. Cut the deli meat into big planks, then into smaller bite-sized pieces so that they cook faster and get crispier. I also chop up a yellow onion, about 50 grams, and finally I'm going to add shredded mozzarella cheese. I use the full fat version because I can find semi-skimmed or even fat-free where I live. Measure 50 grams of cheese into a bowl and then let's get cooking. Add a teaspoon or 3 grams of oil to the pan and already prepare the tortillas besides the pan for a smoother process. Add the meat and the onions to the pan over medium heat. Fry them for about 3 to 4 minutes until the onions caramelize and the meat crisps up a bit. You don't need to add salt here since deli meat is already salty, but I will add black pepper, garlic powder and cayenne pepper for a bit of heat. Toast the seasonings for about 20 seconds, then crack 2 eggs into the pan, add immediately the shredded mozzarella cheese and stir until the eggs are cooked through and the cheese melts. This will take about 30 seconds. Separate the egg mixture into 2 servings and place them back onto the tortillas. Then fold them in half to form quesadillas and then place them back in the pan to crisp up the outside of the tortillas. Also, always season the outside with a bit of salt, this will add extra flavor, then cook each side for about 30 seconds to a minute until golden brown. My dinner came in at 716 calories and 63 grams of protein. So this means that my entire day comes in at 2,359 calories with 171 grams of protein, which is about an average day for me. I made a cookbook that helped me go from this to this without even thinking about being on a diet. 190 low-calorie, high-protein recipes from breakfast, lunch or dessert, and even nutritional tables or protein sources. Everything you need is in here. And the best part is that I will constantly be updating the book with new recipes, and you will get every recipe update for free once you've purchased it. Join the thousands of people that already bought the book, the link is in the description.